Howdy from College Station, Texas, here at Texas A&M University. My name is Josh Nitcholas, and I know some of you, it's been a while since I've been out to visit, but I love you guys. Love you, Nate. I've been asked to share about discipleship, post Chi Alpha, post college, and I believe in particular discipleship as a lifestyle. And so, yeah, that's what I'd like to share. I believe I've got about 5 minutes, so I'll just dive into it. I believe I'm speaking to an LTC class. Just want to say what you students are deciding to do, what the class represents, the commitment that you're making. All of that is the normal Christian life. You give your heart to God, and He becomes the boss. He becomes the Lord. And then all of a sudden, He begins to call you to do things that you thought you would never do or be able to do. But He equips you to do it. And of course, that's what that class does. So, yeah, with the remainder of this time, I do want to just share a few things that we're learning about discipleship as a lifestyle. We have a handful of people who are doing it very well. Again, I just want to emphasize that discipleship is who you are. It's your life. Every one of us, we're missionaries, we're ministers. When you got right with God, all of a sudden, that story of what God has done in you, the things that God has done in you and through you, that's your ministry. And so God is finding a way and is eager to share through your life with the people around you, whether it's your coworker, whether it's the people you sit with at lunch, or whoever you invite over to your house. But as the late Francis Schaeffer said, there are no little people, no little places. And what he meant by that is any person that is consecrated, set apart for the purposes of God, those are not little people. And those are not, the place that you're at is not a little place. When you're in the hands of God, led to a certain place by God, that place becomes important. And you should get the book. It's actually a series of sermons. And one of the sermons is called No Little People, No Little Places. But he talks about the rod of Moses. And it's a piece of dead wood, and it's in the hands of Moses. But God uses this dead piece of wood for miracles, to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, across the Red Sea. And obviously, you guys know the story. Moses turns this dead piece of wood into a snake, and then water comes out of a rock through this dead piece of wood. He holds it up, and the Red Sea is parted. So you and I may not be significant, we may not feel significant, but if we will set ourselves apart to be used by God, every aspect of our life, our families, some of you will be married, most of you hopefully will be married, you'll have a home and a wife and a kid. Your home, we found, if you can set your home apart for God, then God will use that as a unique ministry. Whenever people come over to have lunch or dinner, it'll minister to them. The way that you treat your family, the way that you lead your wife and your kids. And again, you're learning to do that as a roommate. If you have roommates, you're learning to take the atmosphere around you and set it apart for God. The way you keep your room clean, the way that you serve your roommates, the way you talk about them, the things you choose to highlight and lift up, all of that is choosing to honor God in them and to set apart your atmosphere, set apart your circumstances for the use of God. And so a great example is we like to go to the gym, and when we're at the gym, we go to the sauna. And when we're in the sauna, we always try to be very intentional with who's in there. We're talking about the Lord, and oftentimes conversations will come up where it's obvious this other person we don't know who's in the sauna, they're listening to us. And I have probably 3 or 4 different stories of people who have been ministered to in the sauna, We've talked about their life. We've talked about their families, and then they've ended up coming to church, and they've either repented and gotten right with God, or sometimes they go to a different church. But the point is, we've used a place like a sauna at a gym, and we've set it apart for the use of God, and God meets us there, and He honors that place. And so wherever we go, we always want to have in mind that God is wanting to work in us and through us, and that we have an opportunity to minister in that place. So rather it's thinking of it as you're a minister and a pastor with a title, with a full-time job at a church, versus you are in the marketplace working full-time. There's no separation there when it comes to God. You are always in ministry, and whatever God has done in you, He wants to do through you. And so I just want to encourage everybody that what you're learning right now in LTC, what you've learned from your small group leader, the things that you're going to plan to do as a small group leader, all of those things are training, and your ministry is just getting started, really. And so continue to keep your heart on the Lord. And if I can give you the last 10% and say this right here, that the Holy Spirit is eagerly trying to manifest Himself through you in whatever you're learning today. And so I would say practice on the people around you and share what it is God's put in your heart, and you'll be surprised at how God uses it. So we love you guys, and miss you dearly, and continue to serve Jesus. We're praying for you. Have a good morning. God bless.